This is the AMD RX 460 ROG Strix edition. Featuring a 2-fan custom design, RGB customization and higher clock speeds, this could well be the card for everyone. But is it actually any good? Well, I found out. And so then, the Radeon RX 460. AMD's answer to those that just want to play PC titles and aren't really that fussed about playing them at high resolutions and high settings. This budget-orientated card from Asus features 4GB of VRAM, a 2-fan custom design, and it comes very well presented. It's not a very big card, especially when you compare it to a full-fat ROG Strix card from the likes of the 1070 and the 1080. It is a very small card, and you shouldn't really have too much trouble fitting it in your case whatsoever. Taking a closer look at the card reveals that Asus has gone for an open-air design, and it features a jet black colour scheme with an RGB logo located on the top. This means that it should fit nicely in with any motherboard and any case. Look to the I/O of the card and you'll find one DisplayPort, one DVI and one HDMI 2.0. While we do expect to see compromises at this price point, it is a shame that we don't have 2 DisplayPorts, as if you do want to run 2 FreeSync monitors or just 2 DisplayPort monitors off this card, you'll be unable to do so. Move to the back of the card and you'll see that a custom backplate is sadly missing, but of a card of this size and at this price point, this isn't really a big deal at all. But it is very nice that Asus have included a fan header on the GPU that you can plug a fan into and then have a custom fan curve that's related to your GPU temperature rather than just your motherboard temperatures or your CPU temperature. Move around to the top of the card and you'll find the ROG Strix logo, an illuminated RGB ROG logo, and then the power connector, which is a single 6-pin power connector, which should allow you to do some tweaking if you want to, but it's not really going to be the sort of card that you're going to get that much additional horsepower out of. Getting the card in your case is very simple because of its small size, and the RGB customizable logo does make this thing a little bit more attractive, but overall it isn't the most fascinating card out there, so maybe it's time to talk about gaming performance. And to kick us off, let's start with the Valley Extreme HD Artificial Benchmark, and here you can see the RX 460 is less than half the speed of the RX 480, which is immediately a little bit worrying because this card is about £60 cheaper, maybe slightly more, slightly less depending on the price, but the RX 480 is over double the performance. So if you work this out from a price performance perspective, you can actually see that the RX 480 is much better when it comes to price performance than the RX 460 is. But before we draw our conclusions, we probably should look at some other titles, and as a gaming card, the RX 460 does do what it sets out to do. Bearing in mind that all of these presets are more or less on the Ultra preset, you can still get a fair amount of frame rate with both 1440p and 1080p settings, and of course you can tone the settings down to tailor your experience to the game and the frame rate that you're after. But having said that, when the results are this different between the RX 460 and the RX 480, it does really make you wonder whether you should actually just save up a little bit longer and buy the RX 480. Unfortunately, I don't have the results of the RX 470 here, but they will be within the middle of these two results. Looking closer at the Far Cry Primal 4K result definitely proves that this is not a 4K gaming card whatsoever. If you do want to do some video editing and use this as a rendering card, then in that respect it's probably not a bad shout, but once again, because of its lack of 2 display ports, it's going to limit you if you are a creative professional. But if you are considering this card, then there are no doubt 2 questions you're asking yourself. The first one is, can it actually run the games I want it to run? And if you are after a 1080p monitor, you want to play games in 1080p, and you don't mind turning a few settings down, or you're playing less intensive titles, then this thing is no doubt going to be able to cope very well. And you may well ask, why do I need more performance? To which, then yeah, absolutely, this card is probably a solid bet. But for those that are willing to spend a little bit extra, you're going to be getting much better value for money. And it comes with more ports, and just generally speaking, it's a much better card and it offers much better value for money, and it will last you a lot longer. but I think the people that are looking at the RX 460 are those that just want to play PC games, to which I can say that this will do a solid job at 1080p. But I don't feel comfortable giving this an award, mainly because it's just not the best option out there, especially the Strix edition, which adds extra cost onto an already fairly expensive card for what it is. And if you do go for a cheaper variant with only 2GB of VRAM, then you will be limited with things like textures, and just it's not really the most appetizing card in my personal opinion. But there we go, that has been the review of the RX 460. I hope you've enjoyed it. Let me know what you thought. If you enjoyed it, please leave a comment down below. Hit the subscribe button if you want to see more videos like this. There are plenty of other graphics card reviews to help you choose your next GPU beast. And a massive thank you to you guys for watching. A massive thank you to Asus for providing this review sample. It's appreciated as always. Let me know what you thought. Hit the like button if you liked it, dislike if you didn't. And I'll see you in the next video. And thanks to Corsair as always for sponsoring the channel.